Before the dawn of time, there were the early 2000s. 100 million years ago, before recorded history. It's getting hot in here. Brought joy to the world. And they took their clothes off. Alright. Now that we're all clothesless and naked as the day we were born, it's time to enjoy some StarCraft. Game 1 of this TVP. Spawning in the upper right-hand corner of Royal Blood, we have the Blue Terran, GuMiho, the Gumi God, who honestly has been looking pretty fantastic lately. And I'm excited to see how he does here up against an unstoppable force of nature, it seems. One of the players who's done the best in KSL and arguably the best Protoss in the world. Looking very solid in PvT in that last series. It is Dragon Kites's herO. Oh my god, poor Forion. You weren't born in 2002 and you just asked for mod? Listen, any chance you had is now gone. You're not allowed to make me feel old. That's rule number 1 of being a mod. You're not allowed to make me feel old. Oh my god, GuMiho went CC first. What a god. What an absolute god. Man, this is like when I learned that Christiana is a big Avril Lavigne fan, and then I realized that he wasn't born when her most popular songs came out. Oh man, it hurts. Okay. Well, CC first out of GuMiho is super fun. herO opened this pretty standard, it looks like. I'm not going to send the initial Adept out, though, so it doesn't have any scouting information. The Adept will go out now, as the second one is here. Waiting for a Reaper, which the Reaper is very late because there was a command center being built. But it will be able to sneak in, be a little annoying here, and pull the Adept down. It's a Stargate opener, herO. Going for the Oracle. Probably going for Phoenix behind this, but we'll see. And GuMiho just going to go for the Cyclone. Oh, and the Medevac. Okay, I was expecting a Viking. Medevac leads me to believe that GuMiho wants to get a little bit aggressive, maybe send some of these Marines across the map with that Cyclone. The Adept checking out what's going on, but seems like it also wants to run home. And yep, there's those Phoenixes. Does make it a little harder to do anything with this Medevac, especially as the Medevac just got scouted. So GuMiho trying to go for a cheeky drop is just never ever going to happen. As it stands, herO ahead a good few workers here, 31 to 40. Feels like this early CC for GuMiho didn't really net him any advantage that he was looking for. Like, herO still has the economic advantage, and because GuMiho hasn't been able to push out and do any pressure just yet, as I say that, the drops gets scouted once again, and these Adepts will get away with their lives after earning that information, barely even taking any hull damage. Part of the Terran early game generally involves doing economic damage to the Protoss, delaying their tech from being able to get up by killing probes. That's why we see Widowmine drops or Hellion drops or Liberators, or even what GuMiho is trying to do, the Marine drop with the Cyclones pushing the front. Sometimes not even killing workers, but just killing the early game units and, you know, delaying third timings and things like that. GuMiho hasn't been able to do that, so despite this early CC, it still feels like herO just a bit ahead economically. But herO doesn't have any upgrades on any of his units. He's got some Phoenixes out, which can be really annoying to deal with. But as of right now, it's just a handful of these unupgraded gateway units. GuMiho, though, not going to pressure. Doesn't have stim or combat shields. It makes it a little scarier to pressure with these Marines. He's going to scan. I think he spotted the Phoenixes and this Immortal. Didn't quite see the gateway units, but they're not too far away. Observer keeping an eye on everything that's going on in the base. And GuMiho seems happy to just kind of pull back. I imagine this third base will be finished pretty soon. And he'll just be taking that third. Doesn't look like he wants to pressure just yet. But I think he knows about the Phoenixes now, so might be going for some just defensive play if these Phoenixes try to come in for a little pressure. And yeah, we see the Marines split to the natural. Cyclones into the main base. GuMiho content with playing defensively. herO's third is done. GuMiho's third CC is done. He's going to have to go lift and land this on position before he can mine from it. It's kind of fun. I feel like I don't see Terrans that are okay. We almost got that. That are okay with just pulling back from that kind of early game and macroing against Protoss. It's really nice to see GuMiho has the confidence that, yeah, that's fine. I can go into the mid game. I can go into the mid game with you, herO. Best Protoss in the world. And I think we'll be fine. You know, like, it's really cool to see GuMiho playing like that. A lot of Terrans, they have really specific builds. They really feel like they need to get that damage done. They feel like they're fully dead if they don't. GuMiho, though, he's like, nah, dude. Mid-game is cool. Take your third. Take your fourth. We'll just macro. And it's going to be a Colossi charge coming out for herO. Thermal Lance is about to finish up. herO's got 1-1 on the way. GuMiho also has 1-1 on the way. Pretty similarly timed. Who's got that fourth base and now getting into a Templar Archives. Templar Archives is kind of interesting. We don't usually see such a late Templar Archives from Protoss. A lot of times, if they don't make it right away, they just skip it. Because we'll start to see ghosts coming out from GuMiho. That being said, GuMiho doesn't have a Ghost Academy, so that Templar Archives could be very good. And this could be a bit of a read from... Oh no, all three Cyclones, dude. Could be a bit of a read from herO. Like, GuMiho doesn't really play with ghosts that early, doesn't really rush to get them out at all. I think I have an opportunity to get some storms off, or even just mix some Archons in, which, when they're EMP'd, they're awful, but when they're not EMP'd, they're pretty good. They're pretty good. And herO getting the confirmed scout, not seeing any Ghost Academy. As I say that, it goes down, but this is quite late. I've seen a lot of Terrans who have ghosts coming out as they take the third. 6 minutes into the game, the Ghost Academy goes down. They're just ready to get those EMPs off. But again, GuMiho just content to macro it out. Now, herO is taking a fifth base, and GuMiho does not have a fourth base. Does he have a fourth CC? Am I crazy? I do not see one. So it makes me wonder if GuMiho's about to go all in. He's answering my question. As if by divine knowledge. Answers the question. A couple of Zealots do come in. Oh, good pull on the SCVs. I was really worried about the splash damage. A couple of SCVs go down, but they're saved from their own tanks. And herO seems to just be building up a ground army. He seems quite content with Colossi, Disruptors coming out. He's got High Templar gathering energy for Storm, question mark? Even though he doesn't have it researched. Maybe they just haven't morphed into an Archon yet. I heard it's painful for them to morph into an Archon. GuMiho is playing super defense. Honestly, this feels like he wants to just transition into mech or something. He's so tank heavy. And I am a little bit worried for herO, because there doesn't seem to be much here that really deals with siege tanks. This is kind of nice for herO. Grabs the sensor tower there. GuMiho not going to be able to keep an eye on things. Charge lots can be really good against like a few tanks. If the bio leaves them exposed, tanks can be really vulnerable to charge lots. But GuMiho's army is going to be very, very powerful. And I feel like herO's is scary against pure bio with all of those tanks sitting in the back lines. If GuMiho plays it smart and takes the engagement he wants to take, I don't think herO's army can win that. So herO's going to have to be very, very conscious of where and how he engages. Oh, you know, I just learned something. Shades can't block landing buildings. At least that's what it looks like to me. Those shades got pushed by the building trying to land. There's one Adept about to get 100,000 kills. More Zealots running in, taking down that siege tank. The Phoenix is coming with this as well. And there's Zealots trying to get on top of this building planetary, but it will get saved. 8 SCVs going down. This is really, really nice for herO. This Adept has 4 kills. Kind of a badass, honestly. And herO is, I mean, he's chilling on 5 bases. Could probably take the 6th fairly soon. He's got proxy gates just all around the map. So many proxy gates. And he is just gonna, counterattack for infinity. His planetary is done, so these Zealots is really not doing it. Ooh, but herO's going for the push. He realizes, hey, your army's all clumped at the top of this ramp, and decides to throw a few Disruptor Novas up there. Gets a few kills, not the best hits, but you know what? If he could just get those kills and get out of here, that's going to be beautiful for him. However, a few of those Disruptors left on the backside. A big anti-armor missile. herO needs to be very careful taking a fight like this on the retreat. Now, a lot of those tanks died. There were a bunch of tanks before. He's down to 3. He lost like 6 tanks, or 4 of them. Yeah. So GuMiho doesn't have that solid tank backing that he had before, and the Zealots seem to have gotten the kill. It looks like during that fight, GuMiho wasn't focused on repairing his planetary. Those SCVs, even if you tell them to repair, if they hit full HP on the planetary, they will stop repairing, even if it starts going down again. And now the counterattack is doing a ton of damage. GuMiho is back up at his 3rd, and he's just going to tap out. There's so many bases around the map. He's losing economy. He lost his tanks, and he wasn't able to take that engagement. herO did exactly what he needed to. Pulled him out of position, waited for the perfect moment to engage. That moment when the tanks were unsieged, GuMiho was looking somewhere else. Disruptors getting good hits, and herO could just continually resupply that army. Over and over and over again. And GuMiho just couldn't. He wasn't going to be able to take that good fight he needed anymore. Very, very good play from herO. Damn. Reminder to all you guys out there, if you are enjoying this tournament, whether you're watching this channel, we have multiple streams open, you're watching somebody's, I guess it'd be my YouTube video, I'm the one talking. If you're watching somebody else's YouTube video, because I know we got some big YouTubers putting these out there. If you are enjoying these games, we'd love to have your support on the Patreon. It is the only reason this exists is because of that Patreon support. And, you know, we are keeping it going right now. And we are getting a big tournament this summer with hopefully all these guys in it. But we would love to have you join our ranks, keep us going, keep us pushing forward, because I want to keep this going as long as possible and keep supporting Korean StarCraft as long as possible. And hopefully one day the KSL can also be the Korean Stormgate League, because I would really love to branch out into Stormgate once we have the ability to do that in the beta, which I am super excited about, even though it's undoubtedly many months away. I'm still excited about it. Anyways, game number 2 here. We're going to Babylon, spawning in the lower right-hand corner. We have Dragon Kitesies. herO in the blue. His opponent in the upper left-hand corner. Didn't quite take that first game. I feel like it was a strong, solid game right up until those engagements happened, and I'm hoping we can see something a little bit better for him in game 2. It's GuMiho, the former Psystorm player, but unfortunately parted ways recently after many years together. Former teammate of mine. Poor Fori, I'm paying big attention in chat. That does bode well for your chances of becoming mod. I'm still considering it despite the fact that you're like 12. I am excited for Stormgate though. I know I mentioned the beta, but we have the alpha starting in July, sometime in July, that I have been fortunate enough to be invited to, the initial closed alpha. Looking forward to losing even more games in that than I do in StarCraft, because most of the people that are invited are really, really better than me. So, I mean, we'll see. You know, it's a new game. It's a new day. But I have a feeling. I have a feeling the bottom of the initial closed alpha is going to be like the handful of diamond level casters that got invited, or some of the old players. You know, some of the people who haven't played StarCraft in like 10 years. There's some oldies in there. You're an influencer now. It's true. I am an influencer. But as long as I'm not an influenza, am I right? Phew, that was a bad joke. Yeah. Spent $5K in donations this year, didn't get no invite? Damn. Well, the best way to get invited to the alpha is to sign up for the beta, because they will be doing like a lottery for people who sign up for the beta to get into the alpha. So you will have a chance to get into the next phases of the alpha. I don't know exactly how often they'll be doing, like, expanding the player base, but every time they do, you're gonna have a chance. So I will say it was a very select group of people that got invited to the initial closed alpha and like the summit that happened a couple weeks ago. And I'm really not sure how I made that list. I was like I feel like if there was a tier of people who made the list, I'd be on the bottom. Oh no! Well, RIP that medevac. 2 Marines going down in it, and just a little bit of hull damage on one of those Phoenixes. GuMiho trying to do some pressure. The Hellions doing a bit better here, though. But the Phoenixes, now that they're done with the Marines, get to come over and clean up those Hellions. 6 probes going down. Losing the medevac is painful. A couple Marines, not that big of a deal. Definitely better trades for herO, but at least GuMiho is able to get some probe damage this time. And we see that kind of evens up the worker count. He is going to have to defend this little counter pressure with the Phoenixes coming over. The Adepts threatening to shade up as well. Ooh, nice amount of Marines in the main. Actually grabs one of the Phoenixes. But now the Phoenixes are able to get some damage. They don't have a lot of energy, though. This is actually okay for GuMiho, I think. I don't know that I love the Cloaked Banshee follow-up. That seems so strange to me against Phoenixes. Especially now that it's been scouted. I feel like GuMiho might cancel Cloak because it's been scouted now. He's going to send the Banshee around the bottom, but he's building a Raven behind this. I guess he could let Cloak finish, but just not build a second Banshee. But one Banshee doesn't kill probes through a shield battery, so that could be a problem. Yeah, it looks like he's going to let Cloak finish. He could certainly still get some damage done with this, but it's just going to be much more difficult for this one Banshee to do it alone. Now the Phoenixes spot it. It's way out on the map. Yeah, this isn't going super well for GuMiho so far. Once again, herO just on top of it with the early game. Last game, GuMiho just didn't commit with anything. And it ended up kind of working out all right for him, but he was down a lot of workers. This game, he did commit with some stuff. Took not the best trade in the world, but at least the worker count's pretty even. I don't think he's got... Oh, no, he does have a 3rd CC. All right. Okay. I actually feel like I like this game a little bit better for GuMiho. Once Stim, Combat Shield, and +1 are done, he's going to have a very solid army. herO is getting into Colossi, though. He's got Thermal Lance finishing up. So hero's getting into a very solid army. And this is not going to be a tank-heavy composition from GuMiho this time, it looks like. Widow Mine's coming out, actually. Now this is super dangerous. Listen, if you guys out there... If we have anybody in chat who's subbed to Up a Tree Zelda, you know you got that Sal Mine. And see, what that emote represents is the ability for Widow Mines to splash damage all of these Marines and kill them. And Phoenixes are great at triggering that little ability that Widow Mines have. So I'm a little bit worried for GuMiho in that regard. We've seen plenty of friendly fire killing Marines, medevacs, like low hit point medevacs. Getting bopped by the Widow Mines it's so sad, especially when all the units just got picked up. It's actually kind of brutal. I'm not seeing any Sal subs in chat, and I just want to say, good for you guys. You know, as a longtime Sal sub, I do have a tendency to like be a little bit masochistic in that way, and I'm just proud of you all for not giving in to something that really hurts you more than it helps you, you know? I'm seeing some probes went down. I really don't know what killed those probes. Oh, it was the Banshee. The Banshee killed those probes. See, after all that, the Banshee did some damage. Look at that. Now, Phoenixes are out on the map. GuMiho is still out here. Still threatening a little bit. And hero's checking around. He's like, is there an army somewhere? He almost saw it, but he just saw the one Cyclone. Oh my god, but an insanely huge warp in. And with GuMiho out on the map, this is going to be really annoying to clean up. So many SCVs going down. The Prism dies, but this was well worth it for herO. He is going to lose this Archon, it looks like. He's going to lose all the Zealots. But now he's pushing through the middle. Wait, where are the Colossi? Oh, okay. They went off to the side. It's a little bit dicey for herO. I don't know why the hell those Colossi were running around the side. He tried to push at the same time as that pressure was going on in the main. GuMiho actually has a pretty massive army. He just lost 20 SCVs. He's only down a few. I feel like this is actually totally fine for GuMiho. He got back in time to defend. herO can't really push through right now. I don't think. It's a really nice spread on GuMiho's army. If he lands the good EMPs, we'll have to see if the Disruptor Novas can connect. The army supplies are pretty similar here. herO is going to dive for it. He's going for it. Army coming in from the right-hand side. Disruptor Nova pushing them back. And that means that herO's taking a fight against one half of the army at a time. Disruptor Nova, the second one, gets a good connection. Two of these Colossi are shut down, but it just doesn't matter. GuMiho seemed to have such a good spread, such a good setup to deal with that attack. And herO just dismantled it and took another game with just one really good fight. That's how both games ended. And GuMiho, despite taking down Ragnarok, looking very, very solid lately, even he doesn't seem to be able to scratch herO. And herO makes it to yet another KSL Finals.